And this is Pound for Pound Boxing.
Voice of a new generation.
We pull back, no punches.
Mailbag edition.
And what we're going to talk today is about the questions were sent to our email account at P4P mail@yahoo.com and questions that were left us at the YouTube account. And we're just going to go right in. First question, Outer Limit 64. He wants to know, what fights would you show to a non-boxing fan to get them interested in boxing?
Well, this year's been a hell of a year. I'd say right now, 2007 has shaped up to be one wonderful year of boxing. I mean, what can you say? All the different fights that in 2007 have been just phenomenal. Whether that's a throwback because of the MMA coming up with very big fights and now boxing is competing with them or not, hey, it doesn't matter. It's been a stellar year for boxing.
Definitely. I mean, you got fights like the Vasquez versus Marquez, Pavlik versus Miranda, Pavlik versus Taylor. Even though it didn't live up to hype, De La Hoya versus Mayweather. Now Mayweather versus Hatton.
Calzaghe versus Kessler.
Calzaghe versus Kessler.
All these divisions, all these different fights. I mean, just a wonderful year in boxing.
Just great big fights. And then, I mean, if you want to go back to the old fights, Ali Frazier won. Hitman versus Hagler. A Mike Tyson fight if you want to see knockouts. You can go Castillo versus Mayweather 1. Mayweather versus Corrales. I mean, there's a ton of fights out there to watch. It just depends what that fan would be more liking to watch. I mean, people normally go for the knockouts and the punches. So obviously any Mike Tyson fight would suffice for that kind of a person. Trinidad. I mean, there's a lot of
some phenomenal speed. I mean, look at Roy Jones.
Mayweather, Shane Mosley.
Definitely.
So, I mean, it just depends what that person likes after he watches a couple boxing fights, and then just steer him in that way. What we did do, I mean, we had a group of friends that we would always watch boxing, and how we kind of grew to know the younger fighters is we would pick stables. We would pick, a current champion. Each person would have two champions. And two rookies. And you would just kind of, you follow your champions and you follow your rookies. Mine at that time was my champ was Costa Zoo and Arcelino Frietas. And my rookies were Jeff Lacey and Miguel Cotto. And then obviously I think I had a pretty good stable. And what I like, his stable was
Chico Corrales as a champion back in the day. I had Juan El Torito Diaz as my new up and comer, and Panchito Bojado was my newcomer. I had one more champion. It's been a while since I've done that. So
and you just follow their career. I mean, we followed the Miguel Cotto, Jeff Lacey, Panchito, and Juan. We followed them from the get-go, from as soon as they started boxing. So it's kind of cool because you get to see them getting up, and then you also get to learn who these fighters are and what their big strong points is. So I mean, now it'd be, I guess you could get like somebody like Andre Ward or Victor Ortiz. I mean, they already got a couple fights under the belts, but I mean, that's the kind of fighter you're looking for. Somebody who isn't all the way out yet, but you can kind of follow his career from now on.
Yeah, let's go.
Next question, the Who 101. He wants to know, he's got two questions for us. First, our thoughts on Alfonso Gomez's impact on the welterweight division.
To be honest, I don't think Alfonso Gomez at the current crop of champions there is he going to make much of an impact there. I mean, I think fighting, C+ fighters, I think he'll be phenomenal with. I think he's very good. He's got a good fan base. I mean, coming off the contender show, and he's got he's Mexican, so he's gonna have a huge following out there. But to be honest with you, he's not one of these guys that's gonna make an impact because of the current crop of champions out there.
Definitely, you got Mayweather, Cotto, Williams, Cintron. All these guys would be too hard of a fight for him. Now, if he could actually lose 7 pounds and make it to the 140 division, I actually think he's got really good chances there. He can slug it out with these guys. Obviously, he can take a punch and he can fight right back too. He can wear them down. So if he can move down to 140, I think he'd have better chances at that weight class and will be more dominant and can actually be a champ there.
Definitely, I agree.
And then the second question is Lucien Boots' dominant performance over Berrios. What do we think of that? To be truthful, I like to see him in a couple more fights. That's probably the only fight I have seen of him. I've looked up his record and I did the homework. He fought Dingam Tabela and who was the guy from the contender?
Saki Obika.
Saki Obika. Those were like the two names that kind of stood out from us. Thangam Dabella was alright
Way out of shape.
and definitely out of shape. And what was the other?
Sakio Bika is a good contender. I definitely he's more impressive right now because of the show. But I would definitely like to see him in bigger fights.
Bigger fight. I mean,
Kessler, Lacey.
Yeah, put him with some of those guys, and not take anything away from him. He beat Barrios, and Barrios was the champ, so he's got to be good. But we just like to see a little bit more exposure from him before we make any conclusions on how good or big of an impact he's gonna have in that division. And that's pretty much it, guys. That wraps up this mailbag edition. If you like what you heard, let us know. Subscribe. Click the button. If you got any questions or emails or anything, the concerns, let us know. P4P mail@yahoo.com. And if you want anything answered specifically by one of us, when you're looking through the comments, there's a P4P Don P and a P4P Don Knowledge. Feel free to ask us specific questions through there too, and it goes straight to either one of us. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching Pound for Pound Boxing. We appreciate all the love and support. And this is Pound for Pound Boxing.
Voice of a new generation.
We pull back, no punches.
Sentido el ruido de un full en tu cristal cerca, gritándote, diciéndote te busco mar, que el miedo se apodere de ti por tu ignorancia y que lo último que escuches sea el ruido de una ambulancia de camino al hospital y que el doctor cuando llegue diga cuerpo de William o Malandrón llegó sin vida. Se oye triste esa noticia, verdad que se oye triste, por lo tanto tú no eres un hombre y deberías escupirte.